Welcome YouTubers to another episode in my Grammar Hero series. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to calculate the mean, which has a very high likelihood of appearing on both arithmetic reasoning as well as the mathematics knowledge subtest of the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. Before I do that, however, I just want to make a few comments about some statistics formulas you need to know in order to do well on the ASVAB. The first of which is the formula to find basic probability, and the second of which is to calculate the mean or average. As I said, in this video, I'm just going to focus on finding the average or mean of problems. In a video that I'm going to release fairly soon, I'll talk more in depth about how to find probability. So that said, let's go ahead and get started. Here's the statistical formula for finding the average. It's this, and let me rewrite it so I can discuss each part. X with a line over the top refers to the mean or average, equals, this is the statistics symbol for summation. X to the I refers to the value of each measurement, and N refers to the total number of measurements. Instead of memorizing this formula, here's what I'd recommend you do for the ASVAB. Just remember that the average is equivalent or equal to the sum of the values divided by the number of values that there are. Okay? These two things are equivalent. Some people are very good at memorizing formulas, in which case, by all means, try to memorize this one. But as long as you know that average refers to the sum of the values divided by the number of values that there are, you'll be fine. So that said, let's go ahead and take a look at a few practice problems. The first three problems in this video are straightforward. We're basically going to do the arithmetic to calculate the average. And the last two problems are word problems that you'll probably see at least once on the ASVAB. So let's go ahead and get started. Find the arithmetic mean of 4 and 9. Again, the formula is sum over number, and we can represent average as they did in the formula. So in this case, the sum is going to look like this. 4 plus 9. How many numbers are there? There are 2 numbers. So this is going to be over 2. So therefore the average is going to be 4 plus 9 is 13 divided by 2. This is where our arithmetic comes into play. Instead of being the fraction 13 over 2, we're actually going to have to do 13 divided by 2 to find the decimal equivalent. So off to the side, I'm going to do 13 divided by 2. 2 times 6, of course, is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. So we can see our answer is going to start with 6. So we know this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is wrong. To keep working out this long division, we ask ourselves, does 2 go into 1? It doesn't, so we have to drop down a 0. When we drop down that 0, we have to add a decimal place right there. Now we ask ourselves, how many times does 2 go into 10? 5 times 2, of course, is 10, so we have no remainder. Okay? So the answer in this case is B. Fairly straightforward process. Let's go ahead and do another one. Again, the average is, let me grab my pen here, let's see if I got it. Nope. Do I got it? Come on. Okay. Again, the average is sum over number. Okay. So let's go ahead and set this one up. Again, I'm going to use X bar to refer to average. Sum is going to be the sum of all these numbers, namely 53 plus 27 plus 32 plus 41 divided by the number of numbers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So this is all going to be divided by 4. Okay. Let's go ahead and find the sum of these. Again, we have 53, 27, 32, and 41. Let's see. We have 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Carry the 1. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Plus 4 is 15. So we know the sum of all the numbers is 153. Of course, it's still divided by 4. So now we have to rely on our arithmetic to do 153 divided by 4. Let's go ahead and do that off to the side. 4 goes into 1. It doesn't. 1's too small. 4 goes into 15 3 times without going over. 4 times 3, of course, is 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. Drop down this 3. As we can see, our answer is going to start with 3. So we can go ahead and get rid of these two. 4 goes into 33 8 times because 8 times 4 is 32. So right now we already know what our answer is. It's not going to be this one since this is a 0 and this is an 8. So if I was taking the test, I would stop and just select this one. But since we're practicing arithmetic, let's keep going. 33 minus 32 is just 1. Okay. 4 doesn't go into 1, so we have to add a 0. By adding that 0, we have to add a decimal up there. 4 goes into 10 2 times. 4 times 2, of course, is 8. We subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. 4 doesn't go into 2, so we have to add a 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times, and 4 times 5 is 20, so we know there's no remainder. So we can see right here that the answer, of course, is 3825. Again, finding the average is fairly simple, but it does require you to rely on arithmetic, namely your ability to add numbers as well as do long division. So let's do one more. Again, average is equal to the sum of the numbers over the number of numbers. There's probably a math teacher out there pulling their hair out watching this, but again, whatever helps you remember the formula is fine. Average isn't all that important in terms of statistics, so let's go ahead and work this one out. Again, I'm going to represent average as x bar. Again, sum of all these numbers is 17 plus 27 plus 52 plus 81 plus 93. Again, how many numbers are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can see that this is going to be over 5. Let's go ahead and find the sum of these numbers. We got 93, 81, 52, 27, and 17. Again, be careful here because this is where you can make a mistake doing arithmetic. If you've watched any number of my videos, you'll see that in every video I always make 1 or 2 mistakes doing arithmetic. This means nothing in terms of your ability to do math. Just take your time at this point, work it out slowly, and make sure you get this part right. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17, plus 3 is 20. Carry the 2. Let's go ahead. 9 plus 8 is 17. Plus 2 is 18, 19. Plus 1 is 20. Plus 5 is 25. plus 2 is 27. So we can see that this is going to be 270 over 5. Let's go ahead and work this out. Again, we have to rely on our arithmetic skills to do 270 divided by 5, which is this, 270 divided by 5. 5 goes into 27 5 times. 5 times 5, of course, is 25. We subtract. 27 minus 25 is 2. We drop down this 0. And right here we can see our answer is going to start with 5. So this 4 and this 4 will not work. 5 goes into 24 times. 5 times 4, of course, is 20, so there's no remainder. So we know our answer choice in this case is 54. Okay. So in those first 3 examples, I talked about how to just calculate these using raw arithmetic skills. Now we're actually going to have to incorporate some algebra to solve word problems that you'll probably see on the ASVAB. If you want to give this one a try on your own, pause the video after I read it and make an effort to work it out. But that said, I will guide you through it if you need that. So this one says, an employee's ratings on performance appraisals for the last 3 quarters were 92, 88, and 86. If the required yearly average to qualify for the promotion is 90, how much should the 4th quarter rating be? So in this case, we're told what the average needs to be. Again, the formula we're using is average equals the sum over the number. In this case, we're given the average, 90, and we're given 1, 2, 3 of the 4 data points. And we're asked, what does the 4th rating or data point have to be to make the average 90? So to set this one up, we're going to take a slightly different approach. We know what our average has to be. We want it to be 90. We know what the sum of 3 of these are, namely 92 plus 88 plus 86. Okay, now pay close attention here. We're being told that there's going to be a 4th data point, so I'm going to represent that as x. And now we can see instead of having just 3 data points, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, one of which is unknown. And now our goal for this problem is to solve for x. Again, we want to find what this 4th rating, this x, has to be to make the average 90. So to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is multiply this big fraction by 4. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. By multiplying this by 4, I get rid of the fraction. 90 times 4, of course, is 360. Again, 90 times 4 is 36. Just add the 0 onto it. Now we have this, 92 plus 88 plus 86 plus x equals 360. The next thing I'm going to do is combine these 3 numbers right here. And again, I'm going to do that off to the side. 92 plus 88 plus 86. Again, be careful at this point. This is where you can make a simple mistake that can ruin the whole problem. 8 plus 6 is 14 plus 2 is 16. Carry the 1. 8 plus 8 is 16 plus 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, so this is 16 plus 10, which is 26. So we have 360 equals 266 plus x. Subtract 266 from both sides. Okay, this crosses out. I'm going to do this off to the side. Like I said, I want to make a mistake. We can't do 0 minus 6, so we have to borrow a 1 there. This becomes 5. This becomes 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. 5 minus 6 we can't do, so we have to borrow a 1 there. That becomes 2. This becomes 15. 6 minus 15 is 9. 2 minus 2 is 0. So we can see that 360 minus 266 is 94, and we're just left with x. So x, if we want to rewrite it, is equal to 94, which is right here. In other words, this employee must have a fourth quarter rating of at least 94 to have an average rating of 90 over the course of 4 quarters to obtain the promotion. Okay. Let's do one more. And this is a similar problem to the last one. Jose's scores on the first 4 out of 500-point history test were 85, 91, 89, and 94. If a grade of at least 90 is an A, what score must, should be Jose right there, Jose receive on the 5th test to have an A average? So in this case, again, we're dealing with average equals the sum over the numbers, the number of numbers. In this case, we're given the average that he must obtain to get an A, namely 90. So we know average is 90. We know there are going to be 5 data points, 4 of which are given, namely 85 plus 91 plus 89 plus 94. And to represent the score needed on the 5th test, we'll go ahead and put an X there. And again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data points, or 5 numbers, including the unknown one. So now, as we did in the last problem, we're simply solving for X. The first thing I'm going to do, of course, is multiply both sides by 5. And in so doing, this crosses out. 90 times 5, of course, is 450. Again, 9 times 5 is 45. Just add a 0, 450. So we're left with 85 plus 91 plus 89 plus 94 plus x equals 450. Again, we're solving for x, so the next thing I'm going to do is add up all these numbers right here, excluding the x. So again, that's 85, 91, 89, and 94. Let's go ahead and add those up. And again, be very careful. This is a lot of addition that you can mess up. 9 plus 1 is 10. 5 plus 4 is 9. So I know this is 19. Carry the 1. We got 8 plus 9 and 8 plus 9. Or we got, let's go ahead and work this one out. 8 plus 9 is 17. Plus 1 is 18. Plus 17. So this is 18 plus 17. Let me work that out so I don't mess it up. 7 plus 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So I know that this is 359. So this is 450 equals 359 plus x. Let's subtract 359 from both sides. Okay, this crosses out. 359 minus 359 is nothing. Let's do 450 minus 359. We can't do 0 minus 9. We have to borrow 1 there. This becomes 4. This becomes 10. 9 minus 1, of course. 9 minus 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 4 minus 5 we can't do. So we have to borrow a 1 here. This becomes 3. This becomes 14. 14 minus 5, of course, is 9. And 3 minus 3 is 0. So we know 450 minus 359 is 91. Again, we just have x on this side. Let's rewrite this. So we can see that the final test score Jose must receive is a 91 in order for him to have a 90 or A average at the end of the course. Okay, so that's all I had for this video. As I said, I'm going to talk about how to solve probability problems in another video that I'll upload later this week. But that said, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, feel free to thumbs it up or leave me some positive feedback in the comments section below. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and cut you loose. Konnichiwa.